Have you ever noticed that after a certain age, even if you're still eating a full, healthy diet, you feel slower, your legs tire more easily, or you find it harder to concentrate than before? At the Elderly Way, we believe that senior health isn't just about nutrition. It's about understanding how your body is changing and adjusting your foods accordingly. I'm Dr. Alan Reeves, a physician specializing in older adult health. In this video, we're going to talk about something that might sound counterintuitive. Some familiar vegetables may no longer suit your body after age 60, while others, simple as they are, can actually support your circulation, your nerves, and your mobility. Not because vegetables are bad. Most veggies are good. But when metabolism shifts, certain foods can irritate digestion, raise blood sugar, or slow blood flow, especially to the legs and the brain, two areas that play a key role in balance and reflexes. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Health found that specific vegetables are associated with reduced motor performance and memory in older adults. But don't worry, we're not here to point out what's wrong, but to offer alternatives. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 3 vegetables you should consider cutting back on if you want to keep your legs strong and your mind sharp. 3 easy-to-find, easy-to-eat vegetables that help support circulation and improve motor reflexes. We're not talking about strict dieting, and we're not talking about expensive superfoods. These are practical suggestions based on my treatment experience and feedback from older adults like Mrs. Helen, age 68, of Oregon, who made just a few small menu adjustments and felt noticeably better in only a few weeks. If you're ready for small tweaks that make a big difference, let's go on. Welcome to the Elderly Way, where you don't just live longer, you live clearer and healthier. 3 vegetables you should limit after age 60. When we're young, most of us eat vegetables without much thought. Vegetables are healthy, vegetables are good, that's it. But after age 60, the body begins to react differently. Foods that once agreed with you may now cause fatigue, impair circulation, or make your joints feel stiff. In this section, you'll learn about 3 familiar vegetables that may be silently weakening your legs, brain, and nervous system, especially if eaten regularly without adjustment. 1. White potatoes, simple, tasty, but possibly costing you more than you think. We begin with the most popular vegetable at seniors' dinner tables, white potatoes. Mashed, fried, baked. These preparations are tied to nostalgia, convenience, and quick satiety. But if you eat them every day, especially after age 60, it's time to reconsider. Why? White potatoes have a high glycemic index. When you eat them, they rapidly convert into blood sugar, causing your glucose to spike and then plummet. Each spike and crash puts stress on the small blood vessels in your legs, brain, and heart. Over time, you may notice a feeling of heavy legs when walking, mild numbness in your feet or toes, slight dizziness when standing up, feeling tired right after dinner. Real-life story. Mr. Walter, 74, once said, "I ate mashed potatoes every night because it helped me sleep better." But he soon realized he often woke up with stiff knees, cold legs, and needed a few seconds just to steady himself. After swapping potatoes for steamed broccoli and cutting back on starch at dinner, just 2 weeks later, he was walking more confidently and no longer suffered nighttime cramps. The problem isn't just the starch. White potatoes lack antioxidants. That is, they lack a protective layer for blood vessels and nerve cells. And if eaten with butter, cheese, or sour cream, the levels of saturated fat and sodium skyrocket, placing additional burden on your cardiovascular system. The good news is, you don't have to give up your favorite dish, just make small changes. Reduce how often you eat it. Switch to sweet potatoes, pumpkin, or beets. Pair it with greens or plant-based protein to stabilize blood sugar. Before you spoon another bite onto your plate, ask yourself, is this dish giving me strength, or is it silently slowing my reflexes and weighing down my legs? 2. Eggplant, light on the stomach but not light on the joints. Next is a seemingly harmless mild vegetable, eggplant. It's grilled, steamed, stir-fried, easy on the stomach and simple to digest. But there's one thing you should know. Eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, the same group as potatoes and tomatoes. This vegetable contains solanine, a natural compound that helps the plant fend off insects, but can trigger a mild inflammatory response in the joints and nerve tissue. If you suffer from arthritis or knee pain, sciatica, stiff neck and shoulders in the morning, then eggplant may silently worsen your symptoms. A typical case: Mrs. Helen, 68, ate grilled eggplant 2-3 times a week. Recently, she noticed her knees cracking and her wrist joints hard to bend. After her doctor suggested she eliminate eggplant for 3 weeks, she was surprised to feel lighter and more mobile. When she ate it again, her symptoms gradually returned, showing this could be an unsuspected trigger. Note: not everyone is sensitive to solanine, but if you have inflammatory or joint-related symptoms, eggplant is worth removing temporarily to see if you feel better. Reasonable substitutes: zucchini, bok choy, summer squash. Cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower or kale, lightly steamed. Ask yourself, is this a mild dish, or is it something keeping me from moving naturally each day? 3. Green bell pepper, a beautiful color, but it can cause digestive trouble. Finally, green bell pepper, the crisp, fresh vegetable often found in salads, stir-fries, and sandwiches. What few people know: green bell peppers aren't fully ripe, and they contain more lectin than red, yellow, or orange peppers. Lectins are proteins that can bind to the intestinal lining, causing mild irritation or absorption issues in people with sensitive digestive systems. After age 60, the intestinal lining begins to weaken and digestive enzyme levels drop. Unprocessed lectin can cause bloating, indigestion, or mild digestive upset. Reduced absorption of vitamin B12, iron, and zinc, leading to vague fatigue. Increased mild systemic inflammation. A common scenario: Mr. Jacob, 70, ate a lunch salad with green peppers every day. He frequently experienced bloating, irregular bowel movements, and felt mentally sluggish in the afternoon. After switching to lightly roasted red bell peppers, his symptoms noticeably improved. Note: if you have no digestive issues, you can eat well-cooked green peppers. But if you experience bloating, distension, or post-meal fatigue, try eliminating green peppers for 2 to 3 weeks. Alternative choices: red, orange, or yellow bell peppers, raw or steamed carrots, lightly sautéed kale or spinach. Before you add a few slices of green pepper to your salad, ask yourself, am I eating this for its color or because it's truly good for my digestion? Each of the vegetables above has nutritional value, but after age 60, the question is it good for me? But is it right for me? Choosing the right foods helps you feel less tired after meals, move more freely, reduce mild joint or neck and shoulder pain, feel mentally sharper and more consistent each day. In the next section, we will explore 3 vegetables extremely beneficial for older adults, helping boost circulation, improve reflexes, and protect the nervous system. Continue to follow the elderly way, where we don't just eat to be full, but eat to live healthily, live clearly, and live confidently. 3 vegetables to add after age 60. To improve circulation, maintain balance, enhance mental clarity, and protect daily independence. After age 60, the body begins to react differently to food. What once was no problem can now cause mild, chronic inflammation. Conversely, some ordinary vegetables become tools to help you protect your nervous system, your circulatory system, and your ability to move every day. Below are 3 vegetables proven to be of practical value for older adults, both clinically and through real-world experience. 1. Carrots, a simple orange hue, yet offering remarkable stability. You may have eaten carrots for decades in your mother's stews, your wife's salads, or as an afternoon snack. But you may never have thought of them as a way to keep your legs steadier, your vision sharper, and your mind more alert each day. For many seniors, Carrots are a silent yet effective ally, especially when the body starts reacting more slowly. The eyes need extra support, and maintaining balance demands more effort than before. Why do carrots have a special impact after age 60? Carrots contain beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that your body converts into vitamin A, not only to be good for your eyes, but also to maintain a healthy retina, especially the macula, which is the first area to suffer damage as you age. Protect peripheral nerves, helping signals from the brain to your legs travel smoothly. Support the immune system, fighting the low-level, chronic inflammation that older bodies are prone to. Mr. Reggie, 70, once shared that he often experienced a glare when stepping from indoors into bright sunlight, and in the afternoons he frequently felt unsteady descending stairs. After being advised to eat steamed carrots at lunch and dinner for 3 weeks, paired with vegetable oil, he felt more stable on his feet, his vision less blurred, and he was less winded when shopping with his wife. What exactly are the results? You see more clearly in low-light conditions. You trip less when stepping into the bathroom or walking on uneven ground. You no longer hesitate when climbing stairs. You feel mentally lighter and more proactive. Recommended preparation methods: lightly steam to preserve active compounds. Roast with olive oil to optimize vitamin A absorption, since it's fat-soluble. Blend into a cold smoothie with carrots, apple, and chia seeds for morning or midday use. Avoid deep frying or overcooking. High heat destroys antioxidants. Another plus: carrots are easy to find, have a long shelf life, and are very affordable. You don't need expensive superfoods or complicated recipes. Just stick with a smart daily habit. A small bowl of carrots today can help you step more confidently tomorrow. And for many older adults, that's not just a benefit, it's a quiet liberation from the fear of falling, the fear of losing control over their own bodies. 2. Broccoli, unassuming, yet protective from the roots. There's nothing glamorous about broccoli. It doesn't have a striking color, nor is it an addictive dish with bold flavor. But if you ask nutrition experts which vegetable older adults should eat every day, the answer is almost always the same: broccoli. Why? Because this humble green vegetable contains one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds ever studied: sulforaphane. Sulforaphane, the silent warrior against aging. This compound activates detoxifying enzymes within cells, helping the body eliminate free radicals, the culprits behind chronic inflammation in the joints, damage to nerve cells, arterial stiffening leading to high blood pressure and poor circulation, unexplained fatigue from widespread cellular inflammation. How might you notice these changes? You wake up in the morning more easily and your knees are no longer stiff. You get less winded climbing stairs. You feel more focused. Your mind no longer drifting like before. And if you've ever had cold feet at night, that sensation may gradually disappear. Mrs. Margaret, 73, used to experience mild numbness in her legs every evening. After adding steamed broccoli to her dinner 5 days a week, she says that, for the first time in many years, she was able to go to bed without wearing socks. At the same time, her wrist joints, which had been prone to mild pain, showed a noticeable reduction in discomfort after just 2 weeks. What else? Broccoli is also very rich in vitamin K, right arrow, important for keeping bones strong and preventing osteoporosis. Soluble fiber, right arrow, helps stabilize blood sugar and prevents post-meal insulin spikes. Folate and vitamin C help maintain brain function and boost immunity. The proper way to prepare it, because many people are doing it wrong. Sulforaphane is highly sensitive to high temperatures. If you boil it for too long or cook it in a pressure cooker, most of this active compound will be destroyed. Cooking instructions: steam for no more than 5 minutes, just tender enough while retaining that bright green color. Stir-fry quickly with garlic and a little olive oil to enhance absorption. Don't overboil or simmer it for a long time in soups. You can also eat it cold, make a steamed veggie salad and let it cool. It still retains its nutrients. No need to eat too much. Just a half a cup per day is enough to deliver noticeable benefits after 2-3 weeks. You don't need to overhaul your entire menu. Just swap out a monotonous starchy side for a serving of this nutrient-packed vegetable. And here's the most important thing. When you provide the right nutrients to your body, such as sulforaphane from broccoli, your body responds. It might not be dramatic, but you'll notice it in the small things. You get up more quickly. You're no longer unsteady when turning around. You don't have to sit down to rest halfway through a trip to the supermarket as often. That's the difference between merely existing and truly living proactively. And you can start this with just a single head of broccoli, steamed for 5 minutes. 3 spinach, gentle, lush green, yet thoroughly nourishing. Spinach, also called raubina, isn't the kind of leafy green that makes a strong first impression at first glance. It has no strong odor. It isn't visually striking. But if you're 60 or older and you want to, keep your legs feeling light, maintain alertness after lunch, and avoid feeling unsteady for no reason, then you should reserve a permanent spot for spinach in your daily meals. Why is spinach particularly suitable for older adults? Spinach contains natural nitrates, compounds capable of dilating blood vessels, not through a strong pharmaceutical-like jolt, but in a natural, steady, gentle way. What are the results? Right arrow blood flows more freely to your legs, brain, and muscles. You experience less heaviness or numbness in your legs after sitting for long periods. Your mind isn't as foggy in the middle of the day as it used to be. There's even more. Spinach is also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 antioxidants concentrated in the macula of the eye, where detailed images like text, faces, and signs are processed. Helps protect vision from age-related degeneration. Supports sharper focus when reading, looking at your phone, or driving. Additionally, it provides vitamin K, vital for strong bones and preventing fractures when you fall. Folate and magnesium help regulate mood, reduce mild anxiety, and stabilize blood pressure. Soluble fiber, good for digestion and maintaining a healthy gut microbiome. Mr. Hector, 74, used to feel dizzy after every large meal. After he began eating steamed spinach each evening, he noticed his legs felt lighter, his head was less wobbly when standing up quickly, and he could take afternoon walks without relying on a cane. How to prepare it to retain its nutrients. Common mistake: cooking spinach too long and discarding the cooking water. Right arrow, this destroys most of its lutein, nitrates, and vitamin K. Optimal methods. Lightly sauté with sesame oil, garlic, or ginger, just 1-2 minutes. Steam until just tender, leaving the leaves bright green. Morning smoothie: raw spinach plus banana plus flaxseed plus coconut water. Right arrow, light on the stomach, promotes alertness. Avoid overcooking or pairing with dishes high in salt or fat. How much is enough? A small handful per day, about 40-50 g, is sufficient to deliver the key active compounds. You don't need a lot. Consistency is what matters. The final thing to remember: spinach won't make you feel an explosion of energy after a meal. It's not coffee, but after 1-2 weeks you'll notice. Your legs aren't stiff when you wake up. You don't need to push off with your hands to stand up from the sofa. You can walk 15-20 minutes without needing to pause for breath. That's the power of spinach. Not a flashy vegetable, but a quiet foundation that helps you preserve what matters most: your independence, your confidence, and the ability to move without asking for help. We talked about 3 vegetables that many people still believe are good, but after age 60, they may be doing more harm than good. And we also explored 3 other vegetables. Though they aren't glamorous, they have a profound effect on circulation, reflexes, memory, and independence. What do they have in common? They don't require a major lifestyle overhaul. They don't demand a strict diet. And you don't need to spend a fortune on superfoods or miracle meal plans. You just need to swap one item on your plate, from potatoes to broccoli, from eggplant to carrots, from green bell peppers to spinach. And that change will send a clear message to your body. I still care. I still choose to live healthily. Remember Reggie, Margaret, and Hector. They didn't start new medications. They didn't join a gym. They simply changed one vegetable, and after a few weeks, the way they moved, thought, and breathed was completely different. That's the power of a small, consistent, but right choice. The elderly way wants to ask you one thing. Of the 6 vegetables we talked about today, which ones do you eat regularly? Which would you like to try removing or adding next week? Share your answers in the comments below. I read everyone and can't wait to hear your story. And if this video was helpful to you, hit like, send it to someone over 60 whom you care about, and subscribe to The Elderly Way, because every day we bring you information you can apply immediately, not just to live longer, but to live proactively and fully. Age doesn't determine quality of life. Daily choices do. And today, you're seizing a new choice with your very own fork.